they leave their graduation and come to summer school. So over the course of 4 years, that's 24 hours that they're able to take, and it's advancement to a degree. We have a number of young men that are graduating early, going to master's programs, doing everything, and the ability for them to stay together as a team, work out all summer. Quarterbacks organize 7-on-7s. Football has become a real year-round situation, and to play at the level that you want to play, that we want to be at, our guys understand that. I think the young men that have entered our program have done a fabulous job of blending in. You know, it's always good when some of the older guys, I get a little bit of a report every now and then. They say, "Man, these guys are pretty good, Coach." I said, "Yeah." You might need to step it up a little bit there. We didn't recruit him to come stand next to me, so. Offensively, you look at what we've done, we're going to have to, I was really pleased with our offensive line getting through the spring. We lost really two fine players, obviously. One was pretty good. He's the second player taken overall. And we're moving Jake Matthews over to left tackle and moving Cedric Aboye, who is a fabulous player, back out to right tackle. He's been playing in the guard spot, trying to get our 5 best players on the field. Well, Mike Matthews came through the spring as a center. You guys, some of you have heard me tell this joke. I talked to Dad Matthews. I said, "Is there any way we could have like 6 more kids?" He was all in, but Mom wouldn't. So I guess this is it for the Matthews deal. We got to find somewhere else to go for linemen. But he had a great spring, and really those 5 guys kind of blended in, and with a real young man, and Jermaine Affetti, who it's hard to believe he's 19 and he's 330. We came to A&M a year ago. We were able to redshirt him. I think he was about 338 when we got him. He's down to 318. He looks great. That's pretty good, huh? I mean, we told his mom when we recruited him. Said I sat there and I said, he said he's coming to A&M. She was all happy, and Jermaine's happy. And I said, "Jermaine, you understand why she's happy, right?" I said, "You're basically taking a car note off of her every month the way you eat. Buy a nice car for $500, $600 a month for that grocery bill. She's more excited about this than anything." He's a big young man. He'll be all right. And we got some young guys that really came through the spring. We talked about, getting our 5 guys to play as a nickel, not 5 pennies. Coach Anderson does a great job with that, and we're going to have to develop some depth. We got some young guys that are going to come in behind us. We talked about the running backs last year. You guys all right with that now? Ben Molina seems to be okay. Riggs has really picked up where he left off in the Cotton Bowl, and I think you're going to see 2 really dynamic young backs. One that transferred from Oklahoma, Brandon Williams, one of the best players in the state as a high school player, played at Oklahoma as a true freshman, and Trey Carson, who played in Oregon as a true freshman. They both got a little homesick, and somehow I think we found a home for them. So they're doing a great job. We'll be able to rotate those guys in and out. And we've got a young freshman that's going to come in and try to compete with those guys. Plenty of room to keep those guys healthy. The recruiting deal it's changed a lot. Mamas understand, guys grow up, they want the ball 30, 40 times a game. If you're playing in our league and you're a running back and you're carrying it 30 or 40 times a game, it's easily, you're getting hit 3 or 4 times a time you touch it. And by big, nasty guys with tattoos and don't shave, and say bad words. And so, as a mother, what you would like is to have 2 other guys so that your son doesn't have to do that all the time. Because by the end of the year, you multiply that, if he's 30, 40 times 4, it's 160. You go 10, 12 games. 1,000 and some times, the odds of you making the season are not good. That's why we want you to come to Texas A&M, because we're going to have some other guys there. We're going to protect your baby. And we're still going to hand you the ball, to answer your question last year. We're not going to throw the ball every down. I know we're concerned about that. But offensively, I think the line is the key. We're going to have to find a way. We've got some talented, young, dynamic freshmen that some of them are going to have to find their way to the field. A lot of them to replace Ryan Swope and a couple guys. But Mike Evans had an excellent year last year. Which, by the way, no one, my first year media policy, nobody ever said anything about Mike Evans never talked to the media. What's the problem there? They thought it was just one guy. I'm on my soapbox tonight, by the way. I've been out. Hell, it was 106 yesterday. So, it was rough. But I think Mike brings us a lot of energy, big time playmaker, and has been a real leader for us on the perimeter. Malcolm Kennedy, who caught a big ball against Alabama on the corner route, and against one of the premier defensive backs in the country, was one-on-one there. So we're gaining some confidence. Some of these young guys are going to have to play for us this year. The good news is, some of these young guys we signed are the best guys in the country. So we're going to give them an opportunity to show who's what and blend those guys in. We talked about the running backs, quarterback. I think we're going to be all right there. Defensively, we're going to have more depth than we had last year. But we're going to be young. We signed 3 really, really fine freshman defensive inside tackles. And the key to this league, this is a line of scrimmage league. It's rough in there, and like I said, there's guys in there. Basically, it is the highest level of football you can play without being paid professionally. More draft picks out of the SEC than any other league in the country. You look at the statistic, there's more draft picks out of the SEC West, right at or equal to the Big 12. That's a lot of really good players. And because of that, we have got to continue to recruit depth and quality for us to be where we want to be. We've got three good ones who've come in there, some defensive ends. We're going to have to develop a pass rusher. DeMontre Moore really made an impact on our football team last year. So we're going to have to get somebody in there to really kind of help that. That hasn't surfaced yet. But last year, I didn't know who DeMontre Moore was at this point. Does that mean I'm talking too much? It was hot yesterday. Our linebacker situation will be the same thing. Stephen Jenkins had an excellent year last year. And you talk about a guy who's tough. He's running around out there at the second quarter and his arms down. And I said, hey, what the hell's wrong with you? He said, I don't know, man, my shoulders. He goes back in there, comes in at halftime. I said, what's wrong with Jenkins? He's over there with his arm. He said, Coach, he's got a torn labrum. And anybody who knows what that means, it's extremely painful. So I went from being mad to, hey, Steven, you okay, man? And he played the whole Cotton Bowl. And we had surgery, let him sit out. Spring, he doesn't have to show me how tough a guy he is. It gave us an opportunity to develop some other guys. Secondary-wise, we've got the pieces in place. A little bit better than last year, just because we had a lot of guys, but not a lot of guys who played. We played them all. And in some games, I got your emails. We played them all because they couldn't cover anybody one game. So basically the theory was, he can't do it, put another guy in regards to Louisiana Tech. So we put them all on Quentin Patton, and none of them wanted to cover him. They didn't want to cover him, they didn't want to tackle him, they didn't want anything to do with him. He's a pretty good player. But it was a lot of people didn't tackle Quentin Patton, and that's a learning experience for those guys. And last year, for our secondary to go through that and really get their feet on the ground and have a lot of experience, that whole thing really helped us during the year. Special teams wise,